Good evening, everyone. We will begin the evening service of the Miroku Association headquarters, expressing our gratitude to God and Meishu-sama for the permission and protection granted while participating today in God's divine plan of constructing a paradise on this earth. Let us pray together the Amatsu-Norito Prayer of Heaven, followed by the Miroku Prayer. Please stand. 高天原にたむすまります。かむろぎかむろびのみこともちて、すめみよやかむりざないのみことをつくしのち花のおどぎはらにみそぎはらいたもうときになりませる。いどの神たちろもろのまがごとつみけがれよあらいたまえとまおすことのよしおあまつかみくにつかみやおよろずの神たちともに雨のふちごまの耳振り立ててきこしめせとかしこみむまおす弥勒を三神守りたまえ先あえたまえ弥勒を三神守りたまえ先あえたまえ教えみよや主の神守りたまえ先あえたまえ教えみよや主の神守りたまえ先あえたまえこんながらたまちはえませ。こんながらたまちはえませ。Great God of light, creator and giver of all life, in accordance with your divine will, the long age of night draws to an end. Your radiant divine light, shining ever more brilliantly, awakens the dawn of the glorious age of light, a time needed by all humanity. We thank you for guiding us to your divine plan and for the privilege of channeling every seed in Johrei. May our spirits and bodies be illuminated and purified as we live your truth given to us by Meishu-sama. Make us pure and effective instruments of your divine light, so that we may serve you and all those with whom we come in contact. May paradise on earth be realized, with health, peace, and prosperity, a reality in our lives. Great God of light, bless and protect us. Radiate our souls with your divine light, so that we may truly become instruments of your great plan. We will now receive group Johrei.
Johrei is now concluded. Let us now listen to a reading from Meishu-sama's teaching. The great law of nature, the great universe, all its stars and planets, exists in perfect balance because each and every part moves in accordance with divine order. Nature, its great beauty, is the silent, priceless teaching of the Supreme God. People once thought of conquering nature, but instead were conquered themselves before they could even realize what nature had accomplished. All of creation has the potential to bring pleasure to humanity. Think of the flowers in spring, the colors of autumn, the scenic beauty of mountains and moonlight nights, and the comfort of hot mineral springs. God has provided all these things for our enjoyment and given us the senses with which to enjoy them. Since God has done all this, to turn away from the abundance God offers to deliberately attempt to exist on only the barest necessities is contrary to God's wishes. I do not believe in asceticism. I live an ordinary life like other people do, for I believe this is in harmony with God's will. Paradise on earth will be a world in which the lives of all human beings will be elevated in every way, and all kinds of fine art and entertainment will make great progress. Our purpose is to create a world full of truth, virtue, and beauty. The ascetic way of life may be full of virtue, but it lacks truth and beauty.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining the Miroku Association headquarters evening service. Thank you also for praying along with us, directing your prayers for the victims of the floods in Bangladesh, as well as praying for world peace. This evening, I want to share the faith experience of Karen Beatriz do Nascimento. She's from the Zona Leste Johrei Center in Piauí, Brazil. Karen has now been a Johrei member for 11 years. She works freelance in the field of cosmetic sales, and in 2015, she enrolled in a program to study physiotherapy. The high costs resulting from her studies generated financial purification affecting her whole family. Issues were aggravated in February of 2018 as a consequence of a robbery in which all her cosmetic merchandise was stolen. Worries caused Karen anxiety attacks, and due to the intense purifications she experienced, in January of 2020, Karen decided to seek guidance from her minister. The minister first stressed the importance of materializing donations of gratitude so as to eliminate spiritual clouds that had generated her purification. Also, that she intensified her practice of channeling and receiving Johrei. During the same period, by virtue of a conversation with an assistant minister, it was suggested that she list all her debts on paper and that she pay off the most urgent ones, because the anger or resentment of her lenders might likely hinder her growth. She followed the suggested guidance, and when she received funds, she materialized her gratitude as well as paying off monies due to creditors. Meanwhile, she received an average of 2 hours of Johrei daily from her grandmother, daughters, and from members at the Johrei Center. Within a few months, in addition to experiencing an increase in her cosmetic sales, Karen was awarded an internship in the field of her physiotherapeutic studies. The internship called for her to visit patients' homes, and Karen managed to do that as well as to allocate her time for both cosmetic sales and giving service to the divine work. She also received a surprising gift that enabled her to pay off her credit card debts. She was able to receive a substantial amount of Johrei, which, when combined with her becoming less concerned about debts, Karen's anxiety attacks ceased to exist. Through her purification, Karen learned that by prioritizing giving service and by expressing gratitude to God and Meishu-sama, she was graced being able to live a peaceful life, debt-free, enjoying good health and prosperity. Moreover, she became a more grateful and faith-strengthened person, manifesting a greater desire to follow in Meishu-sama's footsteps, dedicated to helping others. Kalin's commitment is to further serve the divine plan through actively engaging in our practice of faith so that she become a most effective instrument in the construction of paradise on earth. Thank you very much for attending our service, for listening to this faith experience. Wish you a very wonderful evening.
This brings to a conclusion our evening service. Thank you everyone for joining us. We wish you a very blessed evening.